Boo! I never know how to start. Hello. Hi. Stream. Stream starting. Stream started, rather. Hi. Today is art. We're doing art today. I really wanted to continue working on this, and I have this weird situation going on where I have other stuff like due. Like, there's other stuff I should be working on, but I'm allowed to work on this if I am working on it on stream. Therefore, stream time. And also, I scheduled this in advance. Um, well, I have my schedule right here. I didn't get to finish it. Um, I was working on it before stream. But I basically have the first one's going to be like penciled in art stream. You may be able to tell I have peak planned for Wednesday. I have a couple of games planned for Friday and Saturday. And you may be wondering, wow, you're streaming a lot right now. You're doing a lot right now. Part of it is because I am going away for like 9 whole days, and I want to like do a lot of stuff before I go away because I will be back September. Like I will be back in Canada, like basically September 1st. So I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna miss the end of August. So I wanted to do some things beforehand. So we're working on this. Last we left off, we made floorboards, and they actually look pretty good. I'm gonna continue fiddling with them though, because I want to make them work in a way that makes me happy. So I think I'm gonna just go in with a pencil and mess with it. That's what I've been thinking, because I've been staring at this for a bit, because setting up for stream and stuff. I also remember I have like the rough colors for everything right there. Can't forget that. So yeah. So let's get that out of the way, because that clearly did not work there. Well, I could do the horizontal lines. This is the hard part. I love and hate drawing horizontal lines because I'm not very good at drawing horizontal lines. But it doesn't need to look perfect. I just want it to look straight enough. But yeah, like, this is the plan for today. Mostly just me drawing. There's no like, oh, I'm gonna draw for a bit and I'm gonna play Peak. Oh, the new update's out for Peak, by the way. Yay! It came out today. I actually played it a bit earlier, in my own time, which was really worth it in that way. Um, it was good. It was nice. It was enjoyable. I just realized I didn't pull up my Twitch chat. Sorry. Um, I'm all over the place, but it's okay. There we go. I got my mod view up. Just in case. Alrighty. There we go. And then I'm also checking. Oh, it seems like Cranberry's streaming right now. That's nice. Oh! Hi, Cranberry! I literally just said, oh, it looks like Cranberry's streaming. That's nice. Thank you. Thank you for the raid. Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Hello. We're just drawing today. Taking it nice and easy. You have impeccable timing. Very, very good timing. Hello. But yeah, we're mostly just drawing today. If my pen would work. I have this weird situation where I have to keep plugging in my pen. Because, like, it's charged. my drawing tablet pen is charged. It's a weird situation where, like, it just sometimes pretends it doesn't work. So I gotta plug it in, and then it'll pick it up again. Thank you so much for joining me. We are going to do... Hey, Ma, there's a cutie patootie on my screen. Aw. I don't know if you're talking about me or the clowns. Or the other clowns, rather. I wonder if I can... I'm trying to copy your username. I'm struggling to do so. I love your style. Aw, thank you! Hello, Waka. We read after a Rackling visual novel. Please do your best to create beautiful art. Aw, thank you, Cranberry. Thank you. So glad to have y'all. I don't know why Pink Clown didn't speak. You could see the messages I sent to chat before. That was me testing it, and it was working. I don't know why it's not working. I'm just scamming you now, I guess. Or my volume was turned down too low that I couldn't hear it. Maybe Pink Clown is just broken. Because I swear, I tested it earlier and it worked. Right, but you were playing Seabed, it seems. I hope you enjoyed. It's funny that we're actually, like, this is actually assets for a visual novel that we're working on. That's right, Seabed, visual novel mystery story. That sounds like fun. Did you solve whatever mystery it was? There we go. Trying to make the lines more purposeful. And then we're going to turn down the opacity on these lines too. And just blend them a certain way so they're not standing out too much. Because I would say these stand out a bit too much too. Not yet. Mystery's still being set up. As we continue on subsequent weeks, the more mystery elements will appear. Ooh, fun. I hope you have fun with that. I'll have to try to tune in. What's really interesting is I don't talk about it a lot. I don't think I've mentioned this on stream yet, but part of like my life right now is I've been having a bit of issues with my my memory. That's why sometimes I seem a little bit frazzled, but most of the time I'm really good about it. But today, as I was going through my files, I found 2 separate visual novels that I was working on that I completely forgot about. But it was kind of really fun in the sense of, like, I got to read them and it felt like I was, like, reading someone else's work. And I was like, oh my god, it's like, it's so good. Wait, I made this? So I'm hoping to continue to work on them. One of them was working with a friend, but that friend also got super busy, so we haven't talked about it in a while, and my brain just went, okay, out the window it goes. But it's like a little jester and a prince, and they fall in love, and I'm excited to work on that again, because the entire world we built up was built around the idea of like gardens and flower language and flowers and plants in general. So like, you know, like I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. If you know like My Little Pony, or like the Warrior Cat series, which is like only a few people have read those. But you know how like people use different words in language for certain medias, like My Little Pony, to describe things that we would use different words for in like just outside of that sources thing. Like for example, the use of every pony in My Little Pony instead of everybody. Um, we were working on stuff like that. So like there's talks about like rot and wilting and that sort of thing, of like if someone's pushing themselves too hard, it's like, oh, we don't want you to wilt, like that sort of thing. And that has been a lot of fun to develop. Like I have someone, like, you know, when someone promises, they say something like, oh, I cross my heart, I hope to die, sort of thing. Instead the character goes, may I wither and rot if I'm wrong, sort of thing. Or may I wither and rot if I break this promise. Which, like, is just really fun to write. It's been a lot of fun making stuff. And it's been a lot of fun re-experiencing that stuff. Are there any ejected warp cores? No! Not yet, rather. Eventually. I feel like if I looked at you reviewing like games that you play, you would review how many warp cores, ejectable warp cores there are in each game. So like, I just go on and you're on the internet and you go like, 5 out of 10, not enough I can't say that word now. Ejectable warp cores. And then we're also gonna go like this on the very top here. There's like, what Letterbox has for movies, there's that for games. But my thing is, I really like bad games. Like, I love really bad games. Games that are made poorly. There's this one that, like, I work at a store that sometimes has games come in, and we had this game come in that's clearly like a game that was not made for the system, but got put on the system because, like, okay, it's Nintendo. Switch has a lot of like what's referred to as shovelware, right? Especially with its online store. But this is a physical copy of a game, and I can't even remember what the second word is, but the first word of the game's title is Mozart, and you play as Mozart. And at our store, we have a Switch. Like, it's just the store Switch, just to make sure that things work, that sort of thing, and to show people when they come in case they want to get a Switch and they don't know what it's like. But we have a Switch there. And so, when I could, I basically put the game into the Switch, and I spent 15 minutes trying to figure out how to make a coffee in the game, because that's the first thing you do. And it was so funny, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this game. This is my new favorite game. But I know that would do, like, psychic damage to some of my friends. That would hurt them so much. Which is why I'm like, okay guys, what if you trusted me and I showed you a game and then you never trusted me again? Because they know what I'm up to always. They kind of know that I goof around with stuff. I'm silly about showing them bad games. Great Count, is that game the reason why you can't talk? Did it scar you so much you lost your ability to speak forever? No, Great Clown, no. I'm sorry. But like it's fascinating to me in terms of like games when they're made like when they're made good, we don't like made well. Sorry, not made good. When they're made well, we don't like really address just how well they're made. But when a game is made poorly like this, oh, like you can feel it in your bones. And what sucks about it is like when I started it up, um the game doesn't have any subtitles, so it'll be a bit hard playing it, but I do want to try playing it on stream just to like play around with a game that is just bad. And I don't think I'll have anyone coming into chat going, "Oh, you're playing my favorite game. How dare you talk poorly on it?" I don't think anyone's favorite game is this game. Um, and it's kind of going to be a situation where we're laughing at it, but I also have a friend who really likes the point and click genre. Uh, and I feel like she may have some really good insights into um, the point and click genre and this game. Like, does it work as a point and click? Does it work worse because it's on the Switch and a point and click? Um, that sort of thing. I think it'd be really fun to play. And like this friend, they're really cool in general. I love like they always have really good opinions. Like when a media out there exists in general, and the type of person who like the first watch they watch it, they are able to be like have critical thinking of the media. um that's what my friends like. I think they're so cool for that. It takes me two watches to be able to critically think of a media, because the first time I'm watching something, I usually turn my brain off a bit. Um, Within reason. Sometimes my brain just turns on and I'm like, this is actually good, or this is actually bad because XYZ. But most of the time, my brain doesn't do that right away. This friend, they do it right away. They're able to think very critically of the games that they engage with, and same with any sort of media, like any movies, that sort of thing. And I think that's a really like big talent that not a lot of people talk about. Not a lot of people talk about how much of a talent that is. It's a muscle, I'm sure, as well, but it's also just a talent to be able to think critically about media, especially when you're first engaging with it. And it's a skill that like a lot of people have, or should have, when we're engaging with like just in general media. I talk about games a lot because that's really what I love. Um, I love games. I love talking about games. I love talking about. Oh, is my pen not working anymore? Okay. Thank you. Do you enjoy board games? I do. I love board games. I actually have a collection of board games. Um, and I went to university for game design. Our first year, we did not touch video games at all. We only did board games. And that's what really started me on really loving board games. Um, but it's kind of a curse too, where I now just crave weird ones or ones that are very unique. Like, I don't think you could sit me down to play Monopoly ever again. It's good study. Board games help establish rules and boundaries of game. Important to understand. Yes, I agree. And I think they did a really good job teaching us about that, because board games, they're more explicit with the rules. When you play, um, when you play a video game, there's a whole bunch of implicit rules going on in that game. And that rules come with the control screen. What are you able to do in that game, right? Are you able to jump in that game? Well, that's a rule. Rule is you're allowed to jump. If there's no jump button, well, they don't explicitly say you can't jump. They're implicitly saying you can't jump by not giving you the ability to jump. Like, so when you're studying a video game like that, it's kind of harder to parse those rules because you're not thinking like that at first. But when it's a board game, they literally tell you, word for word, exactly how the game's supposed to go. I love Monopoly. I think we could play successfully. I'm not good at strategy, so I am not very good with Monopoly. And my thing is now that I don't like playing games that have chance in them. And what's a lot of chance? Dice. Dice are evil. I'm kidding. But like, I have grown away from liking games that have a lot of dice in them. Because if I'm going to lose, I'd rather lose because of my own silly decisions rather than rolling a low chance number or like rolling a die and my die goes, hey, F you, you know? So that's where I sit with dice. I have a weird hatred for dice. Hatred is an exaggeration, but I'm weird about that. Like, let me lose on my own terms. I'm not even saying let me win on my own terms. I don't win often. I'm okay with not winning often. In fact, like, I'm much more into, like, trying to figure out how the game works and then breaking the game than winning or losing. But yeah, I think that's why, like, I'm just not that good at strategy. But I can't enjoy some games now because I now know how they work. And I'm like, this isn't a very good game. I have this distinct memory of, I did my master's. And when I did my master's, I got to hang out with some lovely folk. And one day they actually had an event I could attend, where it was like a little party. So I went to the party and they started playing this game. I'm laughing because I know what comes next. They started playing this game. It was like a drinking game. I don't drink, so I participated, but if I lost in this situation, I was not gonna drink. I was just gonna drink water. But they're playing this game, and the whole idea is like, oh, you're trying to get 4 of a kind. And if you get 4 of a kind, you grab the thing in front of you, and you put your finger on your nose. And if you see someone putting their finger to their nose, you also have to put a finger to your nose. And whoever gets whoever doesn't put a finger on their nose has to drink. So, it was like this situation, like, there's a deck of cards, and we're, like, cycling through the cards, and, like, the whole idea is you pass the cards around until you get, what you want. But I was just there, like, there's no punishment for not being the one to first put their finger on their nose, right? It's just, if you're last, you lose. So, I just kept passing on cards regardless if I needed them or not. And I just waited for someone to put a finger on their nose. Because that's the strategy of the game, really. That's how you not lose. And you're not going to, like, win if you are the person who get the cards that you need, that sort of thing. You just lose if you're the last person. So why pay attention to the cards at all when all I could do is just watch everyone else and, like, win that way? And I was just, like, at this party, watching all these people have so much fun with this game, And I'm just there like, this is terrible game design. And I can't point it out to anyone because everyone's clearly having so much fun. And I don't want to ruin the fun. But I'm just there like, oh my god. Like, this game, this is a non-game. Like, I'm obviously exaggerating. If someone is playing a game, like, if someone is enacting play, if there's play involved, that's a game to me. So, like, this is a game. But I'm like, oh my god, this game has, like, a strategy that tells you to not play the game. This game is poorly designed. And I can't tell anyone that because I'm not in game design anymore. I'm in inclusive design. Everyone else in my program is not a game designer. So I'm just standing there and I'm watching round after round as I just play the game to win and clearly like have like basically broken the game, and I'm just like, yeah, this game is bad. Yeah, this game is bad. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to point it out. You don't have to point out how bad the game is. But yeah, like, it's stuff like that where eventually you start to see behind the curtains a little as well. But one of my favorite games, I'm not good at it. I'm prefacing this. All board games I'm about to mention, I'm not good at. I just realized, did my music stop playing? I've been chatting so much. There we go. I didn't turn on my music that whole time. I've just been blobbing about board games. Okay, there. Now you get to hear me blab about board games, but there's music as well. Some of my favorites. There's this one called Cat in the Box. So if you know the games like Spades and Hearts, where it's like a trick-taking game. It's a card game where you're trying to win a certain amount of tricks or like points each round. And if you get close to that point, that's true. That's true, Green Clown. Yeah. Do you have a cat in your hat, Green Clown? No, you didn't? I heard it on my end. I don't understand what's happening. Oh, how frustrating. Here to audio mirror. I'm gonna double check that it's checking for... I'm gonna click that and see if that's what it is, and I'm gonna automatically go hello world, because that's what computer programs say.
Hello world.
There we go. That popped up on my screen. It should have popped up for you as well then. And just for you, Cranberry, because I feel bad that Green Clown didn't say it. Yes, I said hello world, yes. I'm going to copy and paste your message in because it was so good.
I prefer my cats in hats. Foxes, however, belong in boxes.
Yeah. So it's a trick-taking game like Spades or Hearts. I think I'll do it like this. Yeah, that looks better, but I'm gonna draw with this layer on top first, and then I'll move it underneath. But the whole idea is, you know how a deck of cards has four suits. Wow, I'm struggling here. The whole idea of Cat in the Box is you don't know what color your card is, or like what suit your card is, until you play it in that instant. So you have a whole bunch of cards that are grayscale, and when you play them is when you announce, hey, this card is a blue whatever number it is. And the whole idea is that there can't be two of the same type of color and number card in your deck. So if you go, hey, I have a blue 6, nobody else can claim a blue 6. And like this is for the rest of the deck and the rest of the round. So it becomes a strategy of trying to determine, like, can I call my blue 6 now, or will calling my blue 6 now protect me from like having a 6 in the future? And well, I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. Basically, the whole idea is let's say I have 3 6s in my hand and there's 4 suits. That's dangerous for me, because if two other people or 2 other times someone claims a 6, like they go, I have a yellow 6 and I have a blue 6, then there's only 2 6s left for me to claim, but I have 3 6s in my hand. So I would be unable to claim one of those 6s. And if that happens, you lose that round flat out. Every trick you took actually becomes a point against you. So it's all about avoiding creating what they call a paradox, where there's too many cats for a certain number. I know, I'm making it sound confusing. It is a confusing one, but it's a fun one. So what I usually do is I say, I'm going to take maybe 1 trick. And you're going, how do you ever win this game? I don't. But there's another mechanic in this game where on the board you mark down what numbers have been claimed already and by who. And if you, like, let's say you claim blue 1, 2, 3, and then it's like a grid, so like it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across, and then it goes down a level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across for a different color. So if I claim 1, 2, 3 blue, and then I claim 1, 2, 3 yellow, and then I claim 1, 2, 3 green, that means that all those spaces are like let's draw it here. It means I've claimed basically all these spaces. And the whole idea is the longest line you make can also count for points. So this would count as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points. So although I'm not making a lot of tricks, because these are the numbers that are winning, I'm getting a lot of points in the end because I made a really long line. Yeah. So I usually play the game to lose in a way. And then someone can mess you up, because to get that bonus points system going, you need to have exactly how many tricks you claimed. So if I say I'm only going to get 1 trick, and I got my 1 trick, and someone goes like, I'm evil now, and makes me, like, claims a point underneath me and makes me take a 2nd trick, I can no longer take that bonus points with the long line. So it's kind of high risk in a way, where someone could screw me over if they realize what I'm doing. And then another game I really like is called Finca, Finca. And it's funny because when I go to this board game store, it's a bit away, but the people there like play board games all the time. And so they understand when I say, hey, I'm looking for a weird game, give me something unusual. They understand what I'm looking for. And that's really nice, because I love my weird games. I went there and I went, give me a weird one. And they went, sure. And they gave me Finca. And I'm so glad they did, because it's an interesting one which has no dice. So the whole idea is you're a farmer who's selling your goods to different areas on an island, and they each want a certain amount of things. Like maybe one part of the island wants 3 fish, or another part wants 2 oranges and a fish, or one of them wants 5 lemons. Now, how do you get those? How do you get what you need? There's a windmill, and a windmill is like a circular like thing, right? Because like it's like this, right? Where, let's pretend that looks like a windmill, right? So all the players' icons are on the windmill. And the way you play is it always goes in one direction, because that's how a windmill works, right? But the amount of spaces you move is the same number of the people on that part of the windmill. So if I was here, I would move 2 spaces, and that would give me, maybe there's a fish here, and maybe there's like a lemon here, or an orange. So no matter what, I would move those 2 spaces.
I forced my windmill to move the opposite direction. There were no survivors.
Why would you do that, pink clown? Why would you do that? No! No. It's such a silly thought. No! Don't do that to the people, to the farmers. A collapse in the system. But okay, now going with this example, that person has moved, right? So now there's only one person left on this windmill. How many spaces do they move? They move 1, because there's only one person left on that windmill. So that's how the movement works in this game. There's no dice. And I love that, because it's completely dependent on you and other players moving around the board, and how do they move and how do you move, and what do they need and what do you need. So I just think that's really cool. I think that's a really cool way of doing movement on a board. Yeah. And I'm really glad I got Finca. Okay, so I think the floorboards are done. I feel good about them. I know we've been looking at them at a sideways angle. Let's rotate that back to vertical. Now, we're not adding any like shading in a way yet. There will eventually be shading to this piece. But that will come way later on, because I'm gonna have to manipulate this piece in many different ways. So I'm gonna put that all in a folder, and I'm gonna name it floorboards. There we go. Floorboards. I feel pretty good about them. I think what I'm gonna do with the wall is I'm gonna add just a few pieces of just like vertical lines, just sprinkled in there, just to give it a bit more feeling to it. But yeah, Finca's really cool in that way, where I like how they do movement, because they took movement and made it completely strategy based. Now, the way it usually goes when I play games with people, like specifically board games, is I usually win the first time we play, because I'm really good at picking up rules on the first try and understanding how the game wants you to win. And that comes from the fact that I studied game design. But then other people are able to catch on to how the game wants you to play and win. That's when I lose, because I half the time I'm strategically trying to play the game. I'm trying very hard, and I still lose, because I'm just not that good at it. Other times I suddenly go like, but what if I just did this, and I break the game in a certain way, or I play poorly just to see what would happen if I did that instead. Which, like, a lot of people are like, Ned, are you doing this on purpose, or are you being silly about it? I'm like, yeah, I just wanted to see what would happen. They're like, why would you do that? And I'm like, hee hee. And then other times, I'm just bad at the game. I know how the game wants me to work, but I have no idea how to reach the win conditions, because I'm just not that good at thinking ahead with some games. Games that stress me out, I know you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you. Party games. Specifically playing party games with family members. See, the reason, like, I've always played board games, but only recently have I gotten into games that I really enjoy, board game wise. And that's because my mom has a best friend who has a cottage. And that cottage is the type of place that has no, like, used to have no TV, like, next to nothing. Well, there was a TV, technically. But it was like, you would bring your own DVDs to watch on it, and the VHS, and that sort of thing. So it was like next to nothing there in terms of like electronics, that sort of thing, even when it could have had upgraded electronics there. But that meant we played a lot of board games. And now I get the privilege of bringing so many different board games to them and being like, hee hee, here's some board games. But I choose things that, I'm trying to figure out the size of this. I choose things that, don't require a lot of, reading text. And that's because, this family is mostly Quebecois, and, some of them speak French first, and or understand mostly French and a bit of English. So you're playing with people who won't be able to read the rules. How do you play a game with someone who can't read the rules? You make sure there's not many rules to read, or if there is reading, it's simple stuff that can be explained. That sort of thing. So I've kind of become like, oh, I'll choose a game out for you guys that you might enjoy, that sort of thing, all the time. Pick up and play is a good concept study of video games. Yes, video games that are pick up and play are so fascinating to me, because I feel like pick up and play has become like slightly different over the years, because we have a base understanding of how games work. Like, in terms of, hey, I have to turn this sideways again. Sorry, I have to focus on that. Hey, like maybe 20 years ago, and this is me, I don't know what the word for it is. Theorizing. This is me theorizing. How terrible is it when a game begins with an image of a controller and 20 commands mapped to buttons that have 1 minute to memorize? Yeah, I don't touch those games. They scare me. But a ready-to-play game, especially a ready-to-play video game, is so different from 20 years ago to today. No, the ad interrupted me. Oh no. I was just saying, like, I was saying, yeah, that is terrible when a game does that to you. It hurts. But I was mostly going off about, I don't like how big this thing is. I'm trying to figure out, I think I'm just gonna sketch this further. So it's gonna be like along here, right? I think it's safe to say it's gonna be like a low bookshelf, I think. So it's gonna be more like a square like that. I'm gonna have to fix up some of the lines. But just because gaming has become more popular, and gaming, and like even the most basic of games right now, like let's talk about Mario. Hi Mario. Let's talk about the side scroller. Let's go. Mario Jumpman Mario. Here he is. Let's go. Sorry, we're talking about him, so he's got to be here for the conversation. That's like only the polite thing, right? When you're playing a Mario game, now, what do we understand? Like, Mario in general is considered a pick up and play, right? I'm not imagining that. Like, when I think pick up and play, I think Mario, partly because of the history behind Mario. We know so much about how Mario games work. when we're playing as Mario, we know jump, and we know how to walk, and we know how to crouch, and we know how to sprint, right? So that's 4 mechanics, or 4 controls that we learn. Because crouching gets you into pipes. Jumping gets you onto that platform over there. Sprinting just gets you across the level quickly, and or to that platform way over there. So we already have so much going on in a pick up and play game. But because, like, especially with people who've grown up around games, that's nothing. I have so many kids coming into stores, like the store that I work at, going like, yeah, I played Mario Wonder. And it's like, you're a tiny kid. How have you picked this up already? But we consider it to pick it up and play because we've seen this game before, over and over. So in that way, that's fascinating. What defines a pick up and play game? There's a lost art of video games today. Instruction manual, no longer created today, but many old games give you much help and manual to begin, like a rule book. Yes! I want to bring that back. That would be so cool. Like, I own this really cool thing. I haven't checked them out yet, and that's on me. But, I'm gonna grab it right now. It's, like, behind me, so I don't have to get up and move or anything. I'm just grabbing all of them right now. You may hear a little bit of clattering and stuff. Okay. So I have these things called Indie Apocalypse. So what they are, and I love them, they're a little cassette. Like, you know, the cassette holders specifically. They're not cassettes, unfortunately. But the cassette holders, and they have a nice cover with beautiful art on them. And in them is a single USB drive. And on the back of, like, the art and stuff, they list what games are on that USB drive. And it's a whole bunch of indie developers coming together and making, like, just a collection of their games. And selling them as physical copies. And I got this, and I was like, I could do this. I could sell physical media of my own stuff. And then on top of that, I think it'd be so cool to put something like a manual in it. And like add little things. Like, I know the Super Mario manual. Like, one of them actually has a manual in it. I haven't played this one yet, but it shows like a little page for each book. Sorry, each game that's on the collection, and in there it talks about what the game is like. And I think that's so cool. We need more stuff like this. That's why I immediately bought 3 as soon as I could, because I'm so excited to play them all, and I haven't touched them, unfortunately. I really should. Actually, it'd be really fun to stream that, but I don't know. I'm scared. What is amusing is visual novel I broadcast has manual. Main controls read text, but funny has manual. That is funny. It'd be nice though. Like, you know how the Mario manual not only explained, sorry, I'm putting them back for now, and I'm trying to make sure I put them in a safe spot. The Mario manual not only had, what's it called? How to play, but also had stuff on, I think I want to make this shorter. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Like shorter in this way so that it's more, yeah, okay. I'm making sense to myself. But they also had like, oh, this is Mr. Koopa here in the actual manual itself, and explained a bit of the story in that way. I think that it would be really fun to bring that back, of just like, it'd be really fun to make a visual novel, and then the manual is just like this, like I could do a tiny sketch right here. And it's like, pretend this is the book, right? And like, this is your character, and it's like, oh, this is this character, and this is their favorite food, like stuff that wouldn't come up in the novel itself, and then like a little description of what the novel's like. It'd be funny to write manual from perspective of villain. Press A to make a button Mario jump. Please make him jump down a hole. Oh, that'd be so fun. Honestly, that'd be so cool. I I might write that down for later, Cranberry. I might have to send that to some friends and be like, hey guys, what if we made a game and we also had a manual, and the manual was from the perspective of the villain of the story. And then like a short blurb on the character. And then like it's just like little bonus content that is just like, oh, this character is nice and sweet. You should treat like not you should treat them with kindness, but like they always try to treat everyone with kindness, like that sort of thing. Like just generic stuff that doesn't give away too much about the character. And then like this guy's a little evil, and he's crouched down because he's going through his toolbox. And he's like, don't bother me. But like having a manual that has a bit of personality would be really fun. And like it would suck a little in the terms of like, you know, not a lot of people are gonna look at it, but it'd be really fun to have. I'm thinking of making this a dresser that has like drawers. I was originally gonna make it like an open bookcase, but I think that doesn't make sense for me. And like the layout, like why would you have an open bookcase right next to a mirror? It would make much more sense if you had clothes next to the mirror, because you also have the laundry hamper right there. You know? I keep going, you know? I'm gonna take a sip of water. 1 second, please. Okay, I'm back. I would do that for this game, but this game is just going to be a tiny little story. It's not going to be the type that you have a manual for, in my opinion. I really want it to feel not like lost media, but like bare bones in a way. Like it's gonna like trying to say a lot with a little type of feeling. I'm gonna turn the floorboards like colors down just so I can see what I'm sketching a bit better. Blah, blah, blah. The game I'm working on right now is like, I don't want to call it a personal project, because it's weird for me to call things personal projects, because then it feels like I'm not speaking from my own experiences. I am speaking from my own experiences when I make a game, but I wanted to make a game that put words to a sensation that is hard for me to describe. And it does kind of deal with mental health. I'm very used to kind of struggling with mental health in a very specific way, and like I don't see a lot of games that talk about it in this way. So I wanted to try my hand at making it myself. And it is going to be kind of a horror game, but it's not like jump scare horror. It's more of what's it called? Just unsettling. That's what I want it to be like. And I've noticed my music has stopped again. Is it mad at me? Why does it do that? I don't know why it decides to do that. Let me switch to let's try Late Night Vibes. Or sorry, Head Bop sounds more interesting. There we go. But I wanted to talk about how hard it is to talk about mental health in general, because and this is the title of the game, but that didn't happen. I wanted to make a game where, like, literally your character's just standing in front of the mirror, and it's just like, I'm trying not to give away too much of it, but it's like a thought spiral where it's like this thought becomes so big that it eventually consumes the character, and then it brings you back and it just goes, but that didn't happen. Because it's hard to talk about mental health because there's no evidence. Let's say I fell down and I hurt my elbow, right? There's a bruise on my elbow. If if someone pushed me, there's evidence somehow of what happened. But with mental health, there's no way to like really show the bruise, especially when your brain just decides to do that. So I wanted to talk about, like, it's hard to talk about because, like, you're constantly also invalidating yourself because that didn't happen. It's all, like, it's kind of like that's like when someone says, and when someone's trying to put down someone for mental health issues, they go like, oh, it's all your head. And it's like, yeah, that's where the mental health is. Like, that's what I'm trying to communicate here, of like, it's all in your head, and it sucks because there's no way you can just like gesture to a doctor and go like, it hurts right here, please. So I wanted to make a game about that sort of thing. And I just like, I make games like this because I want to try and make sure that, like, if someone out there is experiencing something like what I'm experiencing, or in general, like, kind of needs something like this just to help them contextualize a feeling that they have, that's why I make. It's not only because, like, it makes me feel not alone to express it, but also if it can help someone else explain something that is going on with them, that's great, and it makes them feel not alone, and I think that's important. And like, it's a piece of art. It's like drawing a funny little, I don't want to say funny little for this, but like drawing a funny little piece of art and then going like, here you go, and someone goes like, this art really speaks to me. It's like, good, I'm glad that it helped you feel something. I hope that makes sense. Okay, the dresser is drawn. I think I want to make it bigger. Because I'm trying to line it up with the mirror here. I think that's actually a really good size for it. And then we'll put the little legs on. We'll give it little legs. And we'll give it like a sock or two underneath or something. Art speaks to me until the battery died and the voice box function ceased. I get it. But yeah, I've always enjoyed creating because if one other person can understand what I'm trying to say and can relate to it, then I've done it. I had I can't remember which one it was. I released a game. I'm gonna actually check 1 second. I don't want to get this wrong, basically. I released a game for the Neurodiversity Pride Jam. And it's just like a tiny little game where I just made a whole bunch of cats and I went, here, put the cats in the box. But there's way too many cats. They can't fit in the box. It becomes about choosing which cats go in the box. And I wanted to make it like a silly little metaphor for like neurodiverse experiences. And that sort of thing. And getting a comment from someone going, yeah, this makes sense. This is kind of how I feel. And then an older game I made, I still go back and look at this comment. It's not even a long comment. I made a little game about like having conversations with people, and the whole idea is every conversation choice you make is wrong. Like just in some way you just fail at every conversation because like it just doesn't work out. All black cats, please get in the box. The Lord someone can issue orders. I actually like Shadow is a black cat. I love black cats. They're so cute. Did you know that black cats have a lower rate of adoption because people still see them as unlucky? It makes me sad. But a Fool's Ball, that game I made, I still have a comment on it from 2 years ago that says, this game is great, painfully relatable, and I love the art style. And, wow, thank you. I still sit here and I think about that. You like tuxedo cats? I get that. I like calico cats, partly because it's very fun to say calico cats. Yeah. I think it's very important to make art and respect art and enjoy art because you never know when something's going to speak to you. And when I try to convince people to play a game, half the time it's me going like, no, you don't understand, the message in this game is so good. But I can't say it because it'll ruin the message for you. 1 second, I have to sneeze. Oh no. I'm done sneezing. It was a very quick sneeze. There we go. Sorry, I hit my mic there. I wanted to sneeze on camera, so I would rate out of 10. No, I don't like sneezing on like unmuted. It makes me nervous. Whenever I feel like I have to sneeze, I quickly rush for the mute button. I don't have like a bad sneeze. I know like of people who have really bad sneezes, so yeah. And then just to connect the dots a little here with the laundry basket, there's the rest of it, and it goes like that. New artwork was creative of you today. Awesome, Cranberry. That's exciting. And then I think, yeah, we'll just have the clothes flying out here. Maybe I'll put a poster here. I feel pretty good about that though. Unlike the floorboards, I'm gonna start with the sketch for like sketch lines for the dresser. I'm gonna also save quickly because I'm really bad about saving. Feel free to send that artwork my way. I'd love to see it, but also no pressure to. I don't mind either or for original or modesty edits. It's up to you. Oh right, I have to plan around that too. I'm sorry. I'm tabling at a con, so it's actually this Thursday and Friday. Sorry, this is my schedule. It's a mess. I'm fixing it. Don't worry. But I just remembered. I'm gonna make a note here. Days con. I'm tabling at a con. It's an online convention. Sent to you on Twitter. Awesome. I'll take a peek. I'm glad that oh my gosh, my brain's not working. The music's working. That's what I wanted to say. Cool, Cranberry. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Okay. Now I gotta figure out how to draw straight lines. Okay, let's start with the verticals. Now, there's a way for me to just draw a straight line, but I don't want to do that. Why? It'll look too straight. And I want it to feel a bit wobbly. There we go. That's a couple of vertical lines. Okay, I have to rotate again. There we go. I was thinking of trying to do something specific for DaysCon. Stream-wise. But I don't know what I would do. And DaysCon I know does events on Twitch as well. So it might be more so me trying to boost what they're doing. I'm also planning to try and watch the anime for DaysCon during Days. So basically, I'm talking about Kage Pro or the Kagero Project or Kagero Project. Sorry, pronunciation. Which is a series of Vocaloid songs that then became like a manga. Here a little difficult. Sorry, I'm a bit away from my microphone as well. I'll turn down the music and turn up my microphone a bit. Sorry. I'll also try to make sure I'm pointing my mouth towards the microphone. But DaysCon is surrounding this series that was originally a whole bunch of Vocaloid songs and then became manga and anime and a series of light novels. Where all the events that happen to these characters is like August 14th, August 15th. So DaysCon happens on August 14th and August 15th. And it just so happens this year I got a table for this online convention. go. But yeah, I'm excited to work on this game because I don't really try my hand at anything like even remotely spooky, right? I kind of don't have that sort of aesthetic, so I am stepping a bit outside what I'm used to showing off, what I usually do. There will be, sorry, I'm at the point now where there will be some moments where I'm a bit quiet, and it's just because I'm not saying anything. I'm also trying to make sure my mic is in a good position. I had this one time where I reached for my mic, and there was a spider on it, and it really scared me. So every time I reach for my mic now, I think about that spider. There's a sound effect in this song that makes me keep thinking that something is breaking outside of like my headphones. Like it sounds like there's something on the other side of my monitor, and I keep looking. There we go. That's a set of drawers. And I feel pretty good about them. I had a dresser I decorated with stickers. That was nice. Okay, before I move on to the laundry basket, I think I want to color in that dresser. And I don't think I want to stray away from the color of the outline too much. I am going to turn the floorboards back up. Important aspect of your art, it's real, it's not AI. That make it special. Thank you, Cranberry. That's something very important to me. I talk a lot. No, I don't talk a lot, but I talk sometimes. Well, I talk a lot in general, but I talk sometimes about AI art and specifically how I am very much against it. Please, if you're to the people that may be watching this, if you're going to get art done, please hire a human who's going to draw it for you. It is so worth it. As someone who does art for commissions, I do art commissions. I'll draw people for money. And as someone who hires people to draw art for me sometimes because I like their style. It's worth it. feel much better about how this looks. I am probably gonna add stuff to the top of it to just give it more, hey, I live here, I promise, feeling to it. It is so important for human artists to finish job. Several times now I've had human artists take money and run, never to finish job. Yeah, that's awful. I'm sorry, Cranberry. I have luckily never had that problem, but I only recently started commissioning people, and a lot of the people I commission are friends. I do have one friend who has forgotten that I commissioned him, but I'm gonna have to get in contact with him and just remind him. And I know it's just a situation where he forgot. And on top of that, he was looking to do commissions because he was in a tight spot, and he's also my friend. I'm not gonna ask him, I'm not gonna be like, hey, so I gave you money while you were struggling, or like you really needed money, but the thing I paid for never came, therefore you're a bad person. I'm not gonna be like that with a friend of mine who I understand just probably forgot. But that's, again, different. I'm very much like, as soon as I get a commission in, I'm like, it has to be done yesterday. I have to finish it right now. I'm just like, oh, I'm taking too much time to do it. I need to do it yesterday. I need to finish it 5 minutes ago. It needs to be done before they even requested it from me. Because the way my brain works is like, I need to get it done ASAP or else I'll forget about it. And or I just don't want people to be waiting on me. I had that with opening up shop as well to sell merchandise. Let's talk later. I may be interested in commissioning you. Yeah, I'd be happy to draw something for you, Cranberry. Just let me know. Feel free to flag me down. I know I'm a bit hard to get a hold of sometimes, but I'll try my best to watch out for text from you. I will say though, I am heading out later in August. I'm going away for a bit, so right now might not be the best point to commission me, because I will take a while because I'll be away. And I'm not taking a lot of drawing supplies with me. Although I love drawing all the time, I'm gonna just be taking stuff for traditional art. Nothing for digital art. Just to give myself a bit of a break from sitting behind the screen. How's that look so far? Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay, we're gonna add some pointillism to it. Where is the pointillism brush? There it is. I love it. Okay, we're gonna go this way though. And then we're gonna go like this on the end here. Just to get like the depth and dimension. And then we're gonna turn it down a bit, I think. So it's not as graining on the eyes as first. There we go. I like that. That's locked in. Okay. And now we're doing some shading. And like, I do shading here. We're also gonna do shading for underneath the dresser, and that's because that's gonna not change. I might move the dresser over a bit because I really want the mirror to be a big focus. Or maybe I'll just leave the dresser up to my, depending on what scene I'm drawing, because it's, again, just gonna be a character standing in front of the mirror for the whole game. We'll see. But for now, the dresser will actually just stay here until further notice, basically. with the shading of the dresser and underneath the dresser. Sorry, I'm putting thoughts together very slowly. That's what's got to be universal, basically. Because no matter what, there's going to be shading underneath the dresser. No matter what, there's going to be shading that tells you how the dresser is shaped. Waka was so good, I did not even have to tell him what I wanted. He already had it done before I asked. Bore projecting warp core. I wish I could read minds so that the people commissioning me didn't even have to tell me what they wanted. They would just go like, hey, I would like to pay you $20 for something. And I'd be like, I know. And then I hand them the piece and then they give me the $20. My main thing is my art style does shift around quite a bit. So I get worried about people commissioning me and then I draw something for them and then what if it's not in the art style that they wanted from me? So I have to be a bit careful there and make sure I'm really clear with people. So I try to make sure I put examples of my work out there, so that people have directly, like, they can go like, oh, I want you to draw it, but I want you to draw in this art style. And I could be like, sure, I'll try. Like, my art is recognizable all the same. Like, I do imagine, like, you could look at a piece and go like, oh yeah, Waka drew this. But sometimes I really do draw something that looks like nothing like what I usually draw. Sorry, I'm just coloring these in because I wanted them to be a different color. And then we'll go a little bit darker and more towards... There we go. And then I'm going to also grab this and go a little bit lighter and just do some streaks in some places. And maybe go a little bit lighter because it's not very noticeable. I'm really excited to get this project on the move. I have most of the story written out because it's just like a short 5-minute experience. But the main thing that's going to be really leading it is the art. And then I'm hoping to work on the other visual novels I really wanted to make. So I can get to work on that. And then from there I will learn about how certain things work to the point of being able to work on other stuff that is even bigger. That's how I've tried to set up my situation in general. I am going to shade around... Oh, sorry, I get notifications when friends are playing games. And a friend of mine just started playing Storyteller. That's a fun one. If I'm thinking about the right game. You should make a visual novel called 2020 and call it Visual Eye Exam. I actually just went for an eye exam too. I wear glasses. My avatar doesn't. He has it on the chain that is down there. But like that's the show I do wear glasses because there's already too much on the face of my avatar. And I also like glasses chains. I just went for an eye exam and I have to get checked pretty frequently just because my brother has an eye condition that is genetic. I could have it too eventually. And my brother went through a lot with it. But if they catch it early on enough, with me, if I have it, then it's pretty okay. Like, I'll be okay. So I have to get checked frequently just in case. My left eye is changed a bit in prescription, but it's nothing concerning. So I have to get new glasses sometime. Okay. I'm gonna also do this, and I'm just gonna go in with the soft noise here. Nope, it's not noisy enough. It's not big enough. I see the problem. There we go. It would help if I was on the right layer, right? I just want, like, just enough noise to really make it feel, I don't know. Imagine I said really good words to describe how I want it to feel. We're gonna hit the darken on. I'm gonna try hitting a multiply on it. Yeah, that's way too dark, so I'll adjust that just slightly. There we go. Dresser. Okay, now we'll go. There's my sketch again. We'll put these in a folder. I'm gonna try and hit shift here. There we go. And then I'm gonna go underneath and I'm gonna hit it with the. Gonna hit underneath the dresser with just a little bit of shade. And I'm gonna hit multiply. And I'm gonna turn it way down. There we go. And then I'm gonna draw a sock. Now, I did choose quite a few colors for the laundry basket, so I'm gonna try choosing one of those. I would have a sock in that color, sure. But it can be like, or it could just be like unidentified clothes. And then we'll go like this for the sock. There. So we're turning off the shading for now, just so I can fiddle with these two items. Three items. Okay, let's go. I do tend to lose stuff under my dresser a lot. Kind of wish I had one that was just flat, flush with the floor, so that I didn't have to worry about losing stuff underneath. Maybe I'll add a rug right here and move the mirror back a bit. No, I want the mirror right where it is. If I move the dresser up, sorry, I'm noticing something. That's why I'm changing my direction a little. That works. I'm also just like, why would someone have this so far away from their backboards? But I can also move their floorboards like this. So yeah, I have some room to fiddle with this. That I don't need to think about this right now. Okay. let's go with this, the crayon, and just I'm gonna go with the very muted pink here and draw a couple of lines on this sock. Then we'll go back over here with this gray and just be like, you know when you fold your socks and they're put in like a little bundle like that? That's what I'm trying to depict here. Either way, it looks like there's something stuck there, so. And then that's what we want, right?
I used to have a dresser like that. But then it was called back to its home planet. I haven't seen it since. But I know it's out there, on some distant planet, holding alien clothing.
It's got purpose on more than one planet. Well, do you miss it? Have you ever tried to call it? It probably misses you. This is gonna be a shirt, so I'm gonna make sure there's like clearly a hole here, and then it goes like that a little.
I did try and call it, but it refused my collect call.
Wow, how rude. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I keep saying okay, but that's because I'm like, oh wow, that looks good. Okay, let's move on. There. I'm gonna add just a little bit of highlight to this. Maybe I can add like words that are like brr, brr, brr. There. There we go. That's our dresser. Okay. Let's try the laundry basket. We're gonna put all that in the
Instead
dresser.
of saying okay, I was in the habit of saying KO. My friends all thought I was trying to be a Street Fighter announcer. But I just had my letters mixed up.
Oh no. KO. Does she hate it when that happens? Happens all the time. Okay, I'm gonna move this here. And then I have to move this and this back out because it's not mixing well with the floorboards unless I do that. This is the dresser. There we go. I stayed pretty true to I stayed pretty true to the color I wanted there. Now I'm gonna do the hamper. I think I want to. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna slice it in half here. That's not quite what I wanted. I wanted it like this. And what I'm gonna do is turn on, no. I'm gonna turn on the mirror here so I can see where the mirror is. I'm just gonna drag this over just so it's more of a rectangular hamper. And then for this one, I'm going to do the outline with the crayon after, because a lot of this is going to be sketch lines anyways that just turn into the hamper. And what do I mean by that? I'm just going to make these thicker. And when I make them thicker, eventually we'll get the holes that the hamper is supposed to have. Because then I'll connect them like this. But the bottom is also supposed to be slightly more thick. Why do laundry baskets have so many holes? Like, they're never big enough that you lose laundry in them, but I just think about that. To decrease wind resistance. That would decrease wind resistance, yeah. There we go. Okay, now again, the bottom is gonna have a slightly thicker plastic to it. Just because it's the bottom. I think one reason might be help with drying because you might have soaking wet clothes in the basket. True. I didn't think about that. And then we're also going to divide it in half this way. There we go. Now you're like, but that doesn't look very like what you had. But what we do is we go like this with just a little bit. I kind of went overboard with that first one, but like just rounding the squares. This song in particular reminds me of a Dance of Fire and Ice for some reason. I don't know why. Just feels like the type of song you would play on it for like the custom levels. Probably the beat. Like the drum kit that they used. I went to a meetup for like trans individuals in my local community. It's lovely. I try to go when I can because it's like a peer support group situation, and it's just nice to get to see people. But after, someone started talking about rhythm games, and I'm fully aware that I stood there for like 15 minutes just talking about different rhythm games that you can play, because I love rhythm games. But it's interesting because like a lot of the people who attend the peer support group are also neurodivergent. So they really understand, like, hey, I'm about to go on a very long rant here. I'm about to talk about something for a very, very long time. Oh, we got another ad coming. You gotta watch out. Take cover! It's got like 50 seconds on it. I love drawing. Like, genuinely drawing this laundry basket just fills me with joy. There we go. The ad's about to get you. Watch out. Oh no, they can't hear me. There's a delay. I wish I could see what ads you guys get. I would love to know what they're advertising to you guys. Oh, I'm so happy with how it looks so far. That looks like a laundry basket. I'm making dinner, so you missed that ad. Oh, you dodged it. It's like the Neo in the Matrix dodging stuff, right? That was you. And now the ad's playing. No! I guess there was a delay. I try my hardest to make sure that it's a Kraft macaroni and cheese advertisement and trolley gummy pop. Huh. Interesting. I try very hard to make sure y'all don't have to sit through that. I don't think it's fun for either of us. If you guys are stuck in watching an ad. I'm cheating. I wasn't expecting that to work. But it actually looks half decent. So I'll keep that like that for now. Because this is going to be so full of laundry that you won't see most of this background anyways. But I'm keeping it like that so I can keep track of it. And then on top of that, this would probably be more like that. So I'll just erase that part. Just a little. Awesome. I'm surprised at how it worked. In a good way. Good surprise. So let's get to... I'm going to turn that way down. Just because that's more of a guideline than anything to help me figure out how this basket looks. And then we got to put the lid on top. Okay. I'm going to hide that too. Alrighty. So I'm going to turn down this a little. Just go at it again with this and just give it some rough texture. I will probably hit it with the pointillism as well. I think I think it's silly that they advertise to you food while you're also making your dinner. That is funny. Do you mind if I ask what you're having for dinner? It's okay if you don't want to share also. I already had dinner. I had a shepherd's pie. My mama and I used to get to see my mama on weekends while at university. And we would make a whole bunch of shepherd's pie that I could take with me and put in my my freezer. Now, like, the word shepherd is, let me switch here. Right? So we used to just write SH on it. But that doesn't really explain anything. But, you know, pi, in math, there's also pi, which is also written like that. So we would do this for it, right? But eventually, when I would be writing it really quick, it would end up looking like this, which just looks like the word shit. So, my mom and I, our inside joke would be like, oh, did you grab the shit? Referring to the shepherd's pie. It's very juvenile, but it's a very fun one. Or like, oh, I had shit for dinner. That sort of thing. My mom and I have lots of fun. We make our own fun a lot. I'll need to depart in about 30 minutes. I have additional broadcasts scheduled. Oh! I hope you have lots of fun. I do plan to end soon anyways myself. So, and then I'm going to stretch my legs and I don't know. I think I might go to bed early tonight. I got a lot of work tomorrow. But I hope you have a good one. What are you planning to broadcast, if you don't mind me asking? Final Fantasy Legend 2, a Game Boy game. Ooh! I hope you have lots of fun. Either way, it's always nice to have you, Cranberry. I enjoy talking with you. I'm gonna have to make sure these are especially dark, I think, and solid looking. Green Cloud will Shadow get trapped under the laundry basket. I've actually trapped her in our laundry basket before. I think I've mentioned this before, but Shadow used to be a really, really mean cat. Like, will attack you as you're leaving your room. Will try to hurt you a lot. So, like, sometimes I would preemptively put her, like, just gently, like, put the basket over her if I was going to be moving around a lot, so that she wouldn't hurt me. So that was, like, a good way to combat that. Okay. There we go. That's a laundry basket, or some of it at least. So we're gonna make another layer. And I'm gonna go with a darker gray, and we're gonna make the lid for this, because my laundry baskets have like a darker gray lid. Did you ever finish a hat in time? Yes, I did. I had a lot of fun with it. I didn't like 100% the game, but I had a lot of fun with what I did play. And I did get to the end of the game. I think that makes sense. When I say something makes sense, I think that I mean like that works for what I was going for. I realize I use a lot of lingo that just doesn't make sense. I just go, yeah, that makes sense. To something that doesn't need to have that said about it. I love drawing. I get to draw laundry baskets. Oh, I was gonna hit this with the pointillism. Okay, still do that. I could probably just still do that. I'm gonna hit it with the pointillism. Not the color I was trying to grab. I was trying to get that one. I'm gonna hit it with the darken. And it didn't do much for it, but I could still say I did it. Maybe I'll do not a saturation, luminosity change, just slightly. We'll hit it with the darken. And then I'll also try that with this here. I don't like it. Maybe I'll do an overlay. Oops. Yeah, no, that's not working out. We're not hitting with the pointillism. And then I will go on top with this and just sketch over this with the lid. Green clown, what's your
If at first you don't succeed, you're not the amazing green clown.
They still need names, eh? Green clown is quite amazing. Hi, clown man, how's it going? Hey, hi, hello. Just drawing today. Been working on stuff. How's it been? Climbing into the perfect name for this channel. I'm moving all this into the folder for now. There we go. And then I'm just gonna go a bit nuts with the colors in this. because basically we're filling all of that up. More or less. It's going, it's going, it's gone! I get it. Well, I hope things are going pretty okay with you.
Welcome in Klein Man. Please, pull up a seat and sit with us. It's just off camera, but there is a fifth seat that Klein Man is now sitting in. An honorary part of our council.
Honorary part of the council. That's good. That's good. Just taking it easy today. I'm trying to think about what kind of colors do you really see in clothes often. People have jeans, so sometimes there's a lot of blue. People got like dark burgundy shirts sometimes. You can add some more of the gray, because the gray is really the white here. And I'm planning for the character to be wearing a white shirt, so... That looks like laundry clothes. I've done it! And now we gotta have it overflowing as well, right? So I think I'll just continue to pick colors that have already been used. And just work it out from there. Maybe I'll go lighter on one of these. Maybe I'll go a bit more red with one of these too. Oh, I'm changing it up. I'm doing exactly what I wasn't doing for a reason. And then we don't have anything with that color. We could add it. Some there. There. Okay. I'm gonna take a sip of water in a second, s'il te plaît. Don't forget to hydrate, guys. There we go. Your Honor, when I thought the trouble getting the Three Stooges Chimp Classics on VHS, but one guy goofed me and gave me the Goofy movie. No. There's been a misunderstanding here. Does look like clothes, eh? I'll add like a sock on top here. Just so you really know it's clothes. It doesn't feel like it's overflowing enough. So I'm gonna actually try adding another layer just so I can really push the limits. So it turns out I really don't need this layer because you can't see a single part of the background. I do not remember personally, sorry. Yeah, unfortunately not. I want more blues because those are going to be jeans, basically. You can find it on YouTube? Okay, good to know. I love it when you can find stuff on YouTube like that. Like, one thing I'm really happy about, yes, you have to pay for it, but I'm really glad they got, like, it did it again. It just stopped my music. Why? Why did it do that? How rude. I have to hit play. There's... Is it gonna continue? Oh, it's switching songs. Okay. If they did, they not take it down. Yeah. But I really like how you can find, What We Do in the Shadows on YouTube. And yes, you have to pay for that one. Where was I going? I don't know. On an adventure, I think. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I think I'm going to hit multiply on this and I'm going to turn it way down so that I don't really have to switch colors for all these different clothes. I could just give them shape with the crayon here. Maybe I can give some of them patterns, but I'm gonna do two different overlays, I think. One is gonna be for the darker clothes, like multiply layers, and one is gonna be for the lighter, just so I don't give the layer clothes too much of like a contrasting, you know. There was Snow White in the Three Stooges movie. No? Oh, cool. I didn't know about that. Uh-oh. Bonk! There we go. Exploded into a million pieces. Bot be gone. Yeah, it's like I pulled out the bug spray and went shh, you know. I loved designing these new clowns. They make me happy. Maybe I'll just turn the multiply down. Yeah, there we go. That is not a mime. It is technically. It's just when I was naming all the conventions here, I just had to name them all with certain things. Just for my sake. They're supposed to have actual names, but we haven't come up with names yet for them. So, they are just called clowns for now. I'll do this here. That's like a hole in the paint. Yay! I love drawing. Purple would be Starlight. That'd be fun. Ah! Hi, Holy Star. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you very much. How's it going? We're working on art, because that's what we do now. I got that band off Twitch for you. Thank you, Cranberry. Pink will be named Pink Rose. I'm gonna have a hard time remembering the names. Oh, I'm so glad. This is such a nice day. Da mime. That's fun. I'm just trying to make sure these clothes look like clothes a little, or just like shapes. I think once I get these clothes to a point where I'm feeling pretty okay about them, it doesn't mean it'll be finalized, but you know, it's probably when we'll probably call it quits. But thank you again, Holly Star. That's the type of clown that, clown style that he's designed after. Yeah, the green one. Personally, I love the patchwork that you can do with it. Scar says hi, he's climbing all over me. Aw, hi Scar. Kitty cat. A lot of fun doing this. Like, I was worried it was not gonna work out. Long live this king. No! We gotta protect Scar here. Scar's the good guy. In this case. I went to see a live action production of The Lion King. That was really cool. I love like the way they do costumings and stuff. That's just in general, it's such a lovely experience to go to live theater. I love drawing. I always have like a, oh, it's so over, we're so back when I'm drawing. Are we talking about the sequel of the live action or the first live action? I'm talking about live theater. Like, I went to a theater production. Where, like, costuming and stuff, you know? Yeah. Sorry, it wasn't, yeah, it was the musical. It was a lot of fun. I love, going to live theater. Uh, it was off Broadway. It was in Toronto. I'm Canadian. Okay. I think I want to go in with a couple spots. If I go in again and I just go over some things. No, I want, yeah. I'm just trying to choose almost random spots so it does just feel like a heap of laundry. And just turn it to a multiply. I do know the photorealistic one is still a cartoon. Yeah. And then I'm gonna go in, hit it with some noise. I'm gonna make this multiply from the start. I think it's Scar is trying to what? Uh-oh, my pen stopped working again. Lure Timmy's me to sleep. When you redeem a clown, were they supposed to make a noise? The gray clown doesn't, but the rest of the clowns are text-to-speech, or should be text-to-speech. Sometimes they do glitch out, and sometimes don't speak. But for example, if I were to redeem, let's choose the purple clown. And I'll just say hello world.
Hello world.
There you go. Sometimes they do glitch out though, which I feel bad about. But I have no idea why they do that sometimes, so I kind of don't know how to fix it. Did the mime do anything? The mime is able to nod or shake its head. It's just when multiple people redeem the mime at once, it can get a bit glitchy. I have to fix that. There we go. And then I'm also going to do... I did not see it when I redeemed it. It takes a second for it to do it. I just saw it myself. Grid Clown did shake its head there. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun setting up stuff like that. But I'm new to this. You need to go now. Bye, Cranberry. Hope you have a good broadcast. Thank you for stopping by. If you guys want, Cranberry is streaming Final Fantasy II. I do recommend checking out her stuff. She's pretty nice. We're doing just like a very light glow on that, I think. There we go. And then I'm gonna add some patterns. I'm just gonna go in with more random colors and just be goofy with it. Like, there we go with the sock. We're just gonna go in with colors. I don't want to do too many, but I do want it to feel like, hey, this is a basket of laundry. I want that to be like, oh, the jeans are ripped, you know? And then we could do like a little Triforce situation going on here where there's clearly yellow and green, and that will just automatically tell people that this person has a Triforce t-shirt. I'm gonna draw some flower on this. Like, I know it doesn't look like it, but that's lavender in my head. If you just draw like a whole bunch of little lines like that, that's just lavender. And then this shirt, I feel like I can go like that with it. So let's go and make like a square. And then we're gonna add some oranges to it. And a red. And the red's just like a line here. And then sunrise. There we go. I don't like the way that hole looks there though. So I'm gonna try defining that a bit, and then also adding a section here. And then there. There we go. Does that look like clothes, guys? I don't know, I feel like I've been staring at it for too long. I just keep adding random lines and hoping that it helps. There's no green over here. We should change that. There we go. Okay. I feel like that's pretty good. Okay. Okay. I'm calling it. That's it. No more. I'd still plan to draw like, one sec, I'm gonna put this into another folder. Basket. I do plan to draw a couple of clothes coming out here and just like along the floor here. And then the last thing I draw is going to be that mirror. Woohoo! And then stuff on the dresser, I think. But yeah, that's really it. We made good progress. I think I could delete this layer. Alrighty. So, we're calling it quits now. That's it. We're done. I'm turning down the music. Okay. Now I'm just gonna double check. How do we feel about going to say hi to Cranberry? Because Cranberry has started her stream. Okay, I'm wondering, sorry, before I stop here, I'm gonna try turning this down a bit. That feels more cohesive. The outline was too dark and like too existing. It had to be turned down. Okay. Okay. Let's go say hi to Cranberry. We're gonna say hi. So I'm gonna hit raid. And to the VOD people, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. Be safe. Bye bye VODs.